Okay, so are you ready to dive into something kind of interesting?
Always.
It seems like we're all feeling the pinch a little bit these days, right?
Yeah.
With the economy and everything, wallets are a bit lighter than we'd like them to be. Prices, they're doing that whole up and to the right thing, which isn't our favorite thing to see.
Right.
But there's this one little thing, this one indulgence that seems to be, well, exploding in popularity even now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Any guesses?
Is it something I don't know, would I have it in my pantry?
You very well might,
Okay.
and I bet you can almost smell it.
Hmm.
It's chocolate.
Of course, chocolate.
Yeah, of course, chocolate.
Always a good time for chocolate.
It really is, and it's actually become, well, a bit of an economic indicator, wouldn't you say?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's this trend we're calling the chocolate effect.
Yes.
Chocolate sales are through the roof, defying all expectations. And this is with inflation and everything else happening.
Yeah, it's like that lipstick effect everyone always talks about.
Right.
Where even in tough times, people splurge on those little luxuries. But this is way more delicious than lipstick.
Definitely.
And that's exactly what this FinShots article we're diving into today is exploring,
Oh, interesting.
the chocolate effect. Why is this happening? What does it say about us as consumers? What's going on here?
Well, for one, it really challenges traditional economic thinking.
Hmm.
You'd think people would cut back on treats when money's tight, but this article points out that chocolate, well, it's not just any treat. It's practically, I don't know, scientifically proven to make us happy.
Okay, so dangerous combination then.
A little bit.
Delicious and engineered for happiness. Tell me more about that.
It's all about the chemistry, really.
Hmm.
So chocolate, it contains tryptophan,
Yeah.
right? And
Oh.
tryptophan, that's what our brains use to make serotonin.
Ah, the feel-good neurotransmitter.
Exactly. And then on top of that, you've got phenylethylamine in there, which is a natural antidepressant.
Right.
And then we can't forget theobromine, which is known for its stress-relieving properties.
So it's actually like messing with our brain chemistry.
In a good way. Well,
In a good way, yeah, hopefully. No wonder we're all, hooked on this stuff.
right.
But here's the thing. The article, it says that even with prices going up, chocolate sales, at least in India, are seeing double-digit growth,
Wow.
which is crazy because other everyday essentials are struggling to even hit 2%. It just seems to defy logic.
It's a classic example of the lipstick effect,
Yeah,
but with chocolate as the star.
right.
Remember that quote from the CEO of Nika, the beauty e-commerce giant?
Yeah.
She said, and I quote, "Beauty as a category is a small luxury. If you are sacrificing some of your large luxuries, like maybe you're putting off buying a car, handbag, but beauty is part of your everyday routine. It's essential to your lifestyle." And, I think chocolate fits right in there.
Yeah. It's like those small indulgences, they give us a sense of control when everything else feels so uncertain.
Exactly.
And maybe a little hit of happiness, too.
Well, a mood booster. Absolutely.
Now, the FinShots article, they dug up some really interesting data. For example, did you know that even if chocolate prices were to rise by 10%, the amount people buy, it would only drop by about 4%?
That's pretty amazing.
Which, for those of us who don't speak fluent economics, what does that actually mean?
It means people are incredibly loyal to their chocolate.
Yeah.
They are more than willing to pay a premium for that little bit of joy, even when times are tough. Economically speaking, we call that demand elasticity.
Demand elasticity. So it's not even just that we, love chocolate. It's that we've got to have it.
It's a necessity.
Yeah, it's essential. The article even compared it to ice cream. Like a tub of ice cream, it's not an all-weather comforter, but a good chocolate bar.
That's a good way to put it.
That's there for you.
Yeah. A chocolate bar is more than just a sweet treat. It's an experience, a whole mood booster, and like we said, it's backed by science. And the data supports this globally. I mean, in the U.S. alone, chocolate sales, they shot up to a staggering $17.7 billion by late 2022.
Wow.
That's a 21% jump from pre-pandemic levels.
That's huge.
It is.
It's really impacting the big companies too, not just us regular chocolate eaters.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hershey's, they're actually exceeding their financial forecasts even with these price increases.
Really?
Yeah, it just goes to show you how strong this whole chocolate effect is. And it's not just, a U.S. thing.
Right. And speaking of not just a U.S. thing, the article mentioned Ireland, where overall grocery sales dipped, but people actually spent more on chocolate. Like, they called out a specific number.
Did they really?
Yeah, a whole 1.8 million more on chocolate. So no matter where you go, it seems like people are finding some kind of comfort in
Nice.
chocolate.
We all need our coping mechanisms, right?
Exactly. But there was this kind of thought-provoking idea in the article about how this trend, this chocolate craze, might actually, well, slow down a bit in the West.
That's right. They pointed out that in some Western countries, people are eating something like 7 kilograms of chocolate per year, per person.
7 kilograms. I don't even, what is that even? That's a lot of chocolate.
It's a lot of chocolate. And you combine that with, the growing focus on health and well-being in those markets.
Right.
It makes sense that chocolate consumption might hit uh, kind of a limit.
People can only eat so much chocolate, I guess. Even if it does make them happy, there's only so much.
Exactly.
So what does that mean for the future of chocolate then? Are they going to have to start handing out gym memberships with every chocolate bar?
Not quite. But the article did mention that while the West might be, kind of reaching its chocolate peak, there's a whole other part of the world where this whole chocolate effect is just getting started.
Oh, really? Or
Places like India, for example.
India. Makes sense. The land of, well, lots of things, but now also a love for chocolate, it seems.
It's true. With a per capita consumption of only 140 grams, India is like this huge untapped market for chocolate companies.
Wow. That is a big difference.
It's huge. Just think of the potential.
Yeah.
And they're already making moves. The article talked about how Mondelez, the company behind Cadbury, invested a ton of money, like $190 million, in a massive factory in Andhra Pradesh.
Wow, that's some serious investment. They must have seen this coming.
Oh, they definitely did. And it's not just Mondelez. The article quoted someone from Mars Wrigley, too. And they were explaining their strategy of actually creating more affordable chocolate products,
Really?
specifically for these emerging markets like India and Mexico, making it, more accessible to a wider range of people.
So it's kind of like some parts of the world, maybe they're hitting their chocolate limit, but in other places, it's just getting sweeter.
Yeah, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does, about the power of these little indulgences we allow ourselves, especially when things feel a bit uncertain in the world, right?
Definitely. It speaks to that, deeper need for comfort, for a little joy in our lives. And chocolate just seems to fit the bill perfectly.
It really does. But it does kind of make you wonder about one thing. So we talked about, chocolate makers, they're going big into these new markets like India with the more affordable options. But what happens if, I don't know, a few years down the line, it creates some of those same health challenges we see in the West? Like, will those concerns, will they ever start to outweigh the chocolate effect, especially as those countries grow?
Hmm. That's a really interesting question. It presents a bit of a paradox, doesn't it? As incomes change and lifestyles change, will chocolate still be that affordable treat? Or will it become associated with those health concerns? Who knows?
Yeah, it's something to think about. And on that note, on the note of thinking about things, we want to hear from you. What's your relationship with chocolate like? Have you found yourself, grabbing a chocolate bar a little more often lately, especially when things feel a bit chaotic? Maybe you're experiencing the chocolate effect yourself. Let us know. And until next time, keep exploring those interesting questions. And as always, keep diving deep with us.